I'm Vlad from OG Talk Mini, and let me introduce you our new co-host for OG Talk Minis, Lauren Purcell.
Hi, Vlad. How are you doing?
Doing good. And so let's introduce our new project. It was your idea, so tell everybody.
Yes. No, I'm really excited. I love the Organic Grill. I miss it so much. I miss you. My husband and I go there all the time. We live in the East Village, and we love the East Village. So, Vlad and I are here to kind of check in on our neighbors and friends and the people that we care about, because even though they're not coming into the restaurant, we still think about them a lot, and we want to make sure they're okay. And we know that everyone we know is up to really interesting things. So we just want to check in on them.
Super. And I'm so excited to introduce our friend, colleague, Eloise Trinidad, and we just want to know a little bit more about your routine. What do you do now? Tell us about yourself a little.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Eloisa. Hi. I'm a total liberation activist and organizer. That's what I do in activism in the world. I work in business development. I'm an artist as well. Right now, I'm focusing a lot on pandemic relief efforts with Eloisa on Wheels. So that has taken up a lot of my time. Activism has moved online. So we're focusing on a lot of that as well. I'm one of the founding members of Vegan Activist Alliance, and I'm on the board of Plant Power Metro New York. And I'm also a board member of Liberation NYC, and Hip Hop is Green and Animal Rebellion. So a lot of different groups all trying to achieve the same goal of animal liberation.
How has the focus on animal liberation changed in this pandemic?
So pretty much everything has moved online. So there's a lot of webinars, a lot of workshops. There's also a lot of what we call swarming, which is when the World Health Organization gives its briefing, or the White House does a briefing. We go on there to really push for a plant-based food system, to talk about the dangers of animal agriculture, and to really bring about the topic of how we got here, right? The root cause of what we believe and how we got here.
But I don't want people to think that you just do work online and you're talking. You have boots on the ground. You do a lot of work. I know about your project involvement with Chili on Wheels, right?
Yes. So Chili's on Wheels is doing pandemic relief right now. We're doing quite a few things. When this whole thing started, the city didn't really have a good plan for the students before the schools were closed. So once the article came out that they were not sure what they were going to do, I just had like a very emotional reaction. Like, what are we going to do? Like, we have to feed these kids. We have to help, right? And I just did a post on Facebook, and people started answering. Then they started donating to Chili's on Wheels. So right now we're doing quite a lot. We're actually delivering groceries to pickup sites, Department of Education pickup sites for the students every week. We're focusing in Brooklyn and also in the Bronx. So these two areas, Mott Haven and Brownsville, have the highest houseless student population. So you're talking about students that don't have a home or a house and insecure. So all their food that they get is from the school. So we're delivering groceries to them. We're also delivering individual groceries to families as well. So people who cannot leave their homes, either because they're sick or because they've lost their jobs, or for any reason they might not be able-bodied. And so I think at this point we've reached 150 families, or 160, that have requested our assistance. We are also setting up small pantries throughout the borough, so that way people can have more access to food. And we're continuing to do our weekly food share. So we do a hot meal food share. We're doing it in East Harlem and Tompkins Square Park. We're also doing one in Queens now. And it's for people who are houseless, for anyone really. But at this moment, we're really trying to help people who are houseless and don't have anything to eat, and also don't have a home.
This sounds like everything is so busy, and this is such a hard time. But can you tell us, it sounds like you're connecting with people there have to be some bright, happy moments. Can you tell us maybe something that's made you smile in all this work, or a good connection you've made with somebody?
I think just the other day, so we were playing bingo on Instagram Live, and I think that was the first time, and I'm outside quite often, so I'm still connecting with people. So that's always really amazing, because I haven't lost that. But just the other day, playing bingo on Instagram, I think it was the first time where I hadn't spoken about the pandemic, where I hadn't spoken about what's going on with people, how they're so terribly affected by the economy being closed down, which is like an ongoing conversation. And it was the first time that everybody was laughing, everybody was being silly. And then I had a really amazing conversation with another activist afterwards. Like, I just reached out and said hello. We've always seen each other around, but we've never actually spoken. And she was telling me her experience about how this is so different for her because she's so warm. She likes to hug. She likes to talk to people. And she's been thrown into this complete opposite life. And so just having, a 3-round bingo, we just had like the most amazing time. So I think, just connection. I think it's still the same thing as before, right? Just connecting with people in not talking about so much about the pandemic. I think just regular conversation has been what has brought me the most comfort in a way, which is strange to say, just average conversations.
To remember who we really are.
Yeah.
Congratulations. And Lauren, do you agree that she deserves a round of applause? Thank you very much. Such empowering work. Such an empowering work.
Girl, I can't wait for it to open again so I can go and eat and just have a good time. Last day we celebrated an activist's birthday, and it was really great. It was just the 3 of us, but it was a fun time.
I mean, talking to you makes me want to help. Like, how can we help if we want to help too?
There's so many ways. So for people who can't leave their homes, if you research vegan mutual aid, there'll be groups that come up. ChilisOnWheels.org is the organization that's doing this pandemic relief effort. So everything is vegan, everything is healthy. We're also going to give out masks. We just received a really nice shipment donation. And really, just checking in on people and your neighbors, because you never know who is in need, right? So I think we have this idea that people in need are people who are out on the streets. A lot of people right now are food insecure because they lost their jobs. And, in this city, people live paycheck to paycheck, and they might not have food right now. They might not know when is the next time that they're going to see a meal. So really checking in on those that and reposting things on Facebook and Instagram when you see all these activists posting this stuff. I think that that's extremely helpful because we're all home. So that's the one way that we're spreading information.
And Eloise, how people can get in touch with you specifically? Maybe they have resources that they want to offer. How they can get in touch with you personally?
So I'm on Instagram and on Facebook. My name on Instagram is Elogata. So it's ELOGATA. So you can find me there.
And I just want to emphasize from my perspective, not only that it's important that you're doing physical work and practical work, but the impact it has on emotional well-being of people is tremendous, because some of these people feel completely abandoned. Like, I spoke to some of my employees and some of the people who work in neighborhood businesses. They unfortunately still are not getting unemployment, still not getting this and that. And just to think that somebody cares and asking about what they need and personally go to them and deliver food, that's priceless. I'm really admiring your effort and your work. Thank you very, very much.
Yeah, if I may just add a little bit on that specific aspect, a lot of the people that we are getting are people that are from the service industry. So people who have lost their jobs, that were working in restaurants and things like that. And, it's really, it's emotionally taxing when you deal with people on a day-to-day, and they, you see a father who's, usually providing for his children, take food that you're giving to them, and you see the pain, you see the heartache, and you see also the relief that they're going to have food to eat. And something that always happens is that as like within the hour, we'll get another text saying, thank you so much. Like, we really needed this. And so it's almost as if they're putting the food away or eating, and they're like, we're okay for the next 2 weeks, you know? So I think it's really important. I think, you know, taking care of each other, and, you know, showing people that we're here, and, you know, filling in the gaps where obviously the government or the state or city government is definitely not doing so.
Yeah, I have, there's some people without homes that are living on my corner, and I try to bring them food. And I actually was at the grocery store panicking because I was like, what is the best, most healthy, like cheap, like, you know what I mean? What's the best use and the thing that would be the easiest for them to eat and the most enjoyable? Like, do you have any tips? Like, what could I give them that's the best of all worlds for giving someone without a home food?
Yeah, so for houseless people, if you do have meals that you can provide that are warm meals, if that's something that you're inspired to do, they always really appreciate it. One of the biggest things for us is like when we have food with a lot of color. So, you know, they love like a great salad or, you know, roasted sweet potatoes and things like that. But, you know, remembering that they don't have access to a kitchen is important. So a loaf of bread, peanut butter and jelly, you know, sticking with the whole vegan theme, obviously, and things like that that they're able to eat. There's, I think, Veg Ready, and they have like ready-made meals as well that you can give out, and they're all vegan. So just keeping that in mind. And fruits, you know, fruits are a big hit for us. When we have fruit, people really love it.
Thank you. That's helpful.
And Eloise, I just wanted to tell you my own impression of our conversation. Only we are talking on Zoom for about half an hour, maybe less. And only at the end, when you characterize the food, you use the word vegan. But before, it was all about helping people. And I think you're an example of veganism as a compassion and embracing everyone and helping them instead of alienating and preaching and telling everyone that only this approach is right and this is wrong and we have to fight this and we have to fight that. I really appreciate that you show by example that veganism is about taking care of everyone, being kind, compassionate, and embracing. Thank you very, very much.
Absolutely. I think, you know, being vegan and, you know, being in animal rights, by extension, it's human rights as well, right? I think that we are all here together. We're all it's liberating praxis for all. That's what I like to think about it, that not only are we liberating the animals, but we're also liberating, you know, the humans. We're going to liberate the planet. This is the most sustainable way to live. We can feed humans this way. It's healthier for them. And it also eliminates, you know, a lot of issues within the supply chain where, you know, you have slaughterhouse workers that have high levels of suicide and PTSD. So when we look at it from that, you know, such a wide and a broad perspective, it includes everything. You know, it is total liberation, and I really believe that, and that really drives my work.
Thank you very much. So we had our guest Eloise Trinidad, we had our co-host Lauren Purcell, and this is me, Vlad Greenberg. Thank you very much, everyone, and we hope to hear you guys on our next mini series. Thank you very much.
I'm glad I got to meet you. Bye. Thank you for everything.
Thank you.